It began with a flicker, an anomaly detected on the outer edges of the solar system. At first, astronomers believed it was just a rogue asteroid or maybe a strange radiation flare, but as the object moved closer, it became clear. This was no natural phenomenon. Dozens of large metallic structures were inbound, moving in perfect formation, accelerating with precision no human technology could match. Earth was no longer alone. Global alarms went off. World governments convened emergency sessions and military space commands jumped into action. The United Nations Space Coalition, a fragile alliance formed after years of rising tensions on Earth, was forced to cooperate like never before. Earth's defense fleet, consisting of 12 warships from different nations, was quickly deployed to meet the incoming visitors. The fleet wasn't primitive by human standards. It featured next-gen plasma cannons, magnetic shielding, and AI-enhanced targeting. But compared to the mysterious alien vessels, Earth's ships were dwarfed. The alien fleet, black and silver in color, shimmered with a strange blue light. Each ship was smooth, aerodynamic, and looked grown rather than built. They didn't match any known design, biomechanical, elegant, and terrifying. Human commanders attempted peaceful communication. Signals were sent in every major language, along with mathematical patterns and universal scientific constants. Hours passed with no reply. Then came the response. A single alien vessel broke formation and moved toward the Earth fleet. A holographic transmission was broadcast into every human ship simultaneously. The image was of a tall, reptilian-like creature draped in metallic robes, its voice translated by some form of advanced AI. Its tone was amused, dismissive. We expected more from a species so noisy across the void. These are your defenders? This is your fleet? Laughter echoed from the alien fleet, not joyous or curious, mocking. The alien commander called Earth's fleet a museum exhibit of failure and referred to humanity as a planet of children playing with fireworks. The message ended. Before the human ships could react, a dazzling display of alien power followed. Without launching a single missile, the aliens disabled Earth ships, hacking their systems mid-flight, shutting down engines, rendering shields useless. The entire Earth fleet hung powerless in orbit, like flies trapped in a web. No lives were lost, but the humiliation was complete. The alien commander sent one final message. We give you 7 of your planet's rotations to prepare for surrender. Resistance will be educational. The alien fleet parked itself in high orbit around Jupiter, watching, waiting. Panic erupted on Earth. News agencies covered the event around the clock. Citizens demanded answers. Religious leaders called it Judgment Day. Conspiracy theorists claimed it was an inside job. Meanwhile, the world's militaries scrambled for options. Conventional weapons had failed. Diplomacy had failed. Earth had been laughed at, dismissed as irrelevant. But beneath the chaos, a small group of global leaders met in secret. They discussed Project Colossus, a hidden contingency plan buried beneath the moon's surface, unknown to the public, unknown even to most governments. As the world trembled under the shadow of a galactic power, one last hope remained, and the aliens had no idea what was coming next. The world had barely begun to process what had happened. Humanity's most advanced warships had been effortlessly neutralized, left drifting in orbit like abandoned toys. No damage, no casualties, just total technological dominance. And worst of all, it had been done with laughter. The alien broadcast went viral within minutes. Every major city from New York to Tokyo, Johannesburg to Sao Paulo saw the alien commander's sneering face projected across screens, tablets, and phones. The message was chillingly clear. Your civilization is not a threat. You are not worth conquering. You are worth owning. While world leaders scrambled for diplomatic solutions, the general public reacted in waves. First came panic. Markets crashed, people fled cities, and shelters filled up. Conspiracy theories flooded the internet. Some claimed the aliens were a false flag created by powerful governments. Others thought it was a form of first contact gone terribly wrong. Religious leaders preached the end of days, while cults and Doomsday groups took to the streets. In the chaos, trust in world governments rapidly eroded. The Global Council, hastily formed after the first encounter, found itself facing massive civil unrest. Millions of people demanded answers. Why didn't we know about the aliens? Where is our protection? Why are we powerless? The alien fleet remained in orbit around Jupiter, unmoving, patient. Occasionally, Earth satellites picked up transmissions between the ships, filled with what could only be described as derisive chatter, mocking Earth's culture, art, and defenses. One intercepted message translated as, "They still burn. Dead animals for power." Another, "They can't even colonize their own moon." What stung more than the alien technology was their utter contempt. They didn't come to destroy Earth, they came to discredit it. This wasn't war. It was an interstellar version of bullying. And Earth, the proud cradle of human civilization, was the butt of the joke. In response, Earth's leaders attempted a diplomatic outreach. A shuttle, crewed with Earth's finest scientists, linguists, and diplomats, was sent toward Jupiter to request dialogue. It was intercepted halfway and turned around remotely by the aliens, without firing a shot. The shuttle returned to Earth, with no damage and a simple new message painted across its hull in glowing alien script. "Stay in your lane." Humanity was left humiliated, not by destruction, but by irrelevance. Despite the psychological blow behind the scenes, a different kind of conversation was unfolding. In hidden bunkers beneath Geneva, Beijing, and Washington, D.C., top secret, defense personnel reopened files long buried, files labeled Project Colossus. Project Colossus was Earth's contingency plan for worst-case scenarios, something buried so deep it had become myth even among military circles. It involved a ship, not just any ship, but a megastructure created from a mix of human engineering and reverse-engineered alien artifacts found decades ago during an undisclosed expedition beyond the Kuiper Belt. The project had been put on indefinite hold, thought to be too dangerous, too unstable. But now, with Earth's pride in ruins and extinction looming, there was no other choice. Work began in silence, hidden from the world, hidden from the aliens. Earth might have lost the first round, but humanity had not yet revealed its final move, and when the sky darkens next, it would not be from alien ships, but from Earth's own forgotten monster. While the world reeled from the embarrassment and fear caused by the alien fleet, a small circle of global leaders and top scientists quietly moved into action. Behind closed doors, in encrypted transmissions and secure underground bunkers, the most secretive and ambitious defense project in human history was reactivated, Project Colossus. Initiated in the late 21st century, Project Colossus was born from humanity's first encounter with alien technology, not through contact, but through discovery. Decades ago, a deep space mining operation near the Kuiper Belt stumbled upon a derelict alien vessel buried in a frozen asteroid. The wreckage was unlike anything Earth had ever seen. Smooth, seamless metal, strange symbols, and a reactor core still faintly pulsing after what seemed like millennia. Realizing the importance of what they'd found, world governments covered it up. The ship was quietly transported to a hidden facility on the dark side of the moon, where scientists and engineers worked in secret for decades, reverse engineering every fragment they could understand. The result was the foundation of Project Colossus, a planet-sized mothership, part human design, part alien architecture, built deep into the lunar rock, invisible to both satellites and telescopes. But it had never been activated. Colossus was considered too experimental, too dangerous. Powering it up risked triggering an unstable alien core. Its AI systems were only partially understood. And most of all, its very existence was controversial, even among Earth's top brass. Many believed the mere act of completing such a ship might provoke a galactic response. So the project was shelved, buried beneath funding cuts, political disagreements, and fear of the unknown. Until now, with the alien fleet orbiting Jupiter and humanity humiliated, there was no time left for hesitation. The old crews were recalled, fresh minds were brought in, and everything was put on high alert. Lunar base engineers, many of whom thought the Colossus was a myth, stood in awe as hidden hangars opened and massive internal reactors hummed to life for the first time. Inside the moon, the scale of Colossus was staggering. Miles of corridors, city-sized chambers, and an energy core larger than any human-built reactor. The ship's weapon systems were based on alien particle manipulation, capable of folding space and distorting gravity in localized zones. It was the kind of power the alien fleet had just demonstrated, but now Earth had its own version. Still, the risks were high. If anything went wrong, if the alien core destabilized or the AI turned hostile, Earth could lose the moon and possibly destroy the planet with it. But the decision was unanimous. There was no retreat left, no diplomacy to pursue. Earth's pride had been broken, but in its humiliation it found something more powerful: unity. The plan was simple: wake the Colossus, test basic systems, and prepare it for launch. The world remained unaware. As far as the public knew, Earth was preparing for surrender or evacuation. Even the alien fleet had no idea that the moon was more than just a gray satellite. To them, it was a dead rock. But deep inside it, something ancient and angry was awakening. Something built not just to defend Earth, but to make the universe remember that humanity fights back. And the next time the aliens looked toward Earth, the sky would answer. For 6 days, the alien fleet loomed near Jupiter like silent predators. Earth watched helplessly, counting down the days to surrender. No transmissions came. No attacks were launched. The aliens waited, confident that their message had been received, their point made. But far beneath the moon's surface, in tunnels, carved deep into ancient rock, Project Colossus was coming alive. The global team tasked with activating the ship moved with urgency and precision. Decades-old protocols were dusted off, reactor codes decrypted, and alien interfaces carefully re-engaged. In the heart of the Colossus, a chamber known as the Core Nexus, a hybrid reactor system began to hum. Alien energy crystals, once inert, now glowed with a cold blue fire. Artificial gravity stabilized. Atmosphere processors kicked in. And deep within the ship, a dormant AI stirred. The Colossus wasn't just a ship. It was a living system. Part machine, part organism, grown and assembled in ways that defied traditional engineering. It responded slowly at first, like a creature waking from a deep slumber, unsure of its surroundings. Human engineers struggled to control it. Commands were not given. They were negotiated. The AI, nicknamed Argus, required trust before it would fully integrate with its operators. Tensions ran high. A single mistake could collapse the entire moon or trigger an uncontrolled chain reaction. But slowly, through trial, intuition, and careful use of recovered alien neural interface devices, Argus accepted its new mission: defend Earth, destroy the threat. On day 7, just hours before the alien deadline expired, the Colossus broke free. The moon shook violently. Telescopes across the Earth saw cracks forming on its surface. Panic erupted. People feared the worst, that the aliens were firing on the moon, or that Earth's last hope had failed catastrophically. Then the truth was revealed. From the dark side of the moon, a colossal shape emerged, a vessel unlike anything seen by human eyes. It was miles wide, covered in hexagonal armor plating, with ring-like energy structures rotating around its frame. Pulses of blue and silver light arced across its hull. Its silhouette blotted out stars as it turned slowly toward Earth's orbit. The Colossus had awakened. Its engines didn't burn fuel, they bent space. With a soundless ripple, it folded forward, passing Earth's orbital defenses in seconds, positioning itself between Earth and Jupiter. The alien fleet took notice immediately. Sensors flared. Communications spiked. The smug silence broke. For the first time, alien transmissions showed signs of alarm. One broadcast, picked up and translated by Earth's quantum decoders, simply said, "How did they build that?" Earth's global network was overridden. All civilian and military screens lit up with a single feed. a live broadcast from the Colossus. On it, a human commander stood before a glowing console, Earth's flag behind her, eyes fierce. 2. Those who would mock us. This is our answer. As the Colossus powered its primary weapons, enormous arcs of energy crackled across its surface. The sky above Earth turned electric blue. For the first time, the balance of power had shifted. Earth was no longer a laughingstock. Now, it was a rising force, and the aliens realized too late. They had awakened a sleeping giant. The moment Earth's mothership, the Colossus, entered the battle space, everything changed. The alien fleet, once silent and smug, erupted into a flurry of movement. Ships reoriented, weapons systems powered up, and defense grids flared to life. Until this point, they hadn't considered Earth capable of posing any threat. Now that confidence wavered. The Colossus dwarfed every vessel in their armada. It wasn't just a ship, it was a spaceborne fortress, a moving continent of technology powered by an alien-human hybrid core. Its hull, layered in gravitational plating, was impervious to most standard energy weapons. Its energy output surpassed anything humanity had ever produced. Still, the alien commander wasn't ready to admit fear. In an act of arrogance or desperation, he ordered his fleet to attack. The first wave hit hard. Dozens of alien destroyers rushed forward, unleashing concentrated beams of high-energy plasma and kinetic projectiles. The Colossus took the hits, directly, and didn't flinch. Its shield shimmered, absorbed the energy, then converted it into fuel for its primary weapon systems. Then came Earth's reply. From the sides of the Colossus, vast panels unfolded, gravity wells, alien devices, capable of distorting space itself. With a sudden lurch, sections of the alien fleet found themselves dragged into artificial singularities, imploded in moments. No explosions. Just silence. Vanished. Next, the Colossus unleashed its orbital lances, massive beams of directed plasma that carved through enemy cruisers with surgical precision. Entire enemy squadrons were vaporized in seconds. Earth watched in stunned awe as the tide turned. Back on the planet's surface, billions of people stood glued to their screens, watching live as the mothership they'd never known existed defended their world. Social media erupted. Fear turned to pride, despair to resolve. The world, once divided and leaderless, united in awe of a single moment. Humanity's roar in the face of galactic bullies. Inside the Colossus, things weren't without tension. The Argus AI, while loyal, was still unpredictable. The fusion of alien and human systems occasionally caused power fluctuations. Commanders made decisions in real time, balancing aggression with caution. But the crew was prepared. They had trained in secrecy for years, waiting for the call that had finally come. Then came the alien counterattack. 3 of the alien fleet's dreadships, massive command vessels, charged at the Colossus in formation. These were their heavy hitters equipped with black hole missiles and EMP detonators. For a moment it looked like Earth's mothership might finally be overwhelmed. But Argus had one last surprise. As the dreadships closed in, the Colossus activated, its mirror core drive temporarily bending space-time around itself. The result, the dreadship's own missiles curved mid-flight and struck their senders. In seconds, the enemy's most powerful weapons destroyed themselves. The alien fleet faltered. What was once mockery had turned to panic. Alien commanders scrambled to retreat, but the Colossus didn't let them go. With a series of warp jumps, it hunted down the remaining vessels and disabled their engines. One by one, the proud invaders fell. Earth had not only survived, it had won. And for the first time in recorded history, the galaxy blinked. Not at a primitive world, but at a species that had just proven itself impossible to predict and even harder to defeat. Where once dozens of alien warships had hovered, above the solar system in arrogant formation, now only wreckage floated, shattered husks drifting silently in the void. A few crippled vessels were allowed to limp away, their engines sparking, their weapons offline. Not out of mercy, but as a warning. Let them run. Let them tell the story. The story of Earth's answer. The Colossus, scarred, but victorious, remained, in orbit near Jupiter like a Titan standing watch. Its presence altered the gravity of the system itself. Every sensor in the quadrant picked up its signature. A ship that shouldn't exist, fielding weapons that defied galactic conventions, piloted by a species no one had taken seriously. Now, the galaxy would have no choice but to take notice. Back on Earth, the atmosphere was electric. Cities erupted into celebration. People poured into the streets not in protest or fear this time, but in unity. For the first time in history, there was no division between nations, no debates about who held the real power. There was only Earth, humanity, and its defender. News feeds ran non-stop coverage of the battle, declassified footage, interviews with crew members from the Colossus, and tearful reunions of the once-stranded fleet now safely returned to orbit. The Mothership had not only saved them, it had become a symbol of strength, of survival, of unexpected greatness. But Earth's leaders knew the fight wasn't over. The alien fleet that had attacked them was only a scouting party, a civilizational test by a larger interstellar empire, known only by intercepted code as the Dominion, and Earth had passed the test not with compliance but with defiance. So the final move was not made with guns, but with words. The Colossus activated its quantum communication array. It was a relic from the alien vessel discovered years ago, rebuilt and tuned to send signals across thousands of light-years in real time. Argus translated the message into hundreds of known galactic languages, embedding Earth's unique digital and genetic signature as a calling card. And then, Earth spoke. To those watching, "We know you saw what happened. We are the people of Earth. We were underestimated, mocked, but now you know better. We do not seek war, but we do not fear it. We are no longer alone, and we are no longer afraid. Come in peace or don't come at all." The message was short, firm, unapologetic. It pulsed out like a beacon, passing through deep space listening posts, intercepted by AI sentinels, reaching diplomatic enclaves, pirate stations, and imperial archives across the stars. 100 civilizations now had to update their records. Humanity was no longer pre-contact, no longer primitive. Earth had entered the galactic stage. In the weeks that followed, new signals came in, not threats, but acknowledgments. Curious probes, offers of diplomacy, warnings too, from species who had once suffered under the Dominion's rule. Humanity had become part of a much larger game, but now it sat at the table with cards of its own. Above Earth, the Colossus hovered in silent orbit, watchful, vigilant, and the stars once so distant and unreachable now seemed like the next step forward.